Joe Burrow focused on getting ready to play Sunday in Cleveland, not worried about a possible contract extension. Mike Petraglia outside Paycor Stadium. Here on Wednesday, the Bengals were back at it in shorts and shells on the Kettering Health practice fields right across the street from Paycor Stadium. They'll be back in full pads on Thursday. The biggest story of the day, what else? Joe Burrow. He spoke for the first time since July 26th. The very next day, of course, he injured his right calf, running out to the right, running out of the pocket like he probably will be forced to do on Sunday against Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns. But today, Wednesday, was the first day that Joe Burrow spoke about not only that calf injury, what happened, what it felt like to sit out and not really practice for 5 straight weeks, until returning to the practice field last week with the team. He spoke about that, and he also spoke about what everybody wants to know: when is he going to sign on the dotted line and get that contract extension signed, sealed, and delivered? Well, he didn't have any answers in that regard. No shock there. But what he did say was he wants to finish his career playing in Cincinnati. That has been his intention all along, no matter how long this contract extension might be for. He definitely made it clear here on Wednesday afternoon that he wants to finish his career in Cincinnati. He understands there's a business side of it, and he may not get everything he wants in a contract extension, but he is letting the business people who handle this, like Brian Aralt, his agent, deal with that. He is focused on football. He made that point very clear several times during the press conference here on Wednesday afternoon. In terms of being ready to play Sunday against the Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett, a pass rusher who has always given him fits, Joe Burrow said he wants to make sure he's going to test it the next couple of days to make sure he can scramble around in the pocket, show some burst, and draw upon that speed and explosion if he needs it to get away from the pass rush. That will tell him if he's fully 100% ready to go. But his intention and his gut feel right now is that he will be playing Sunday and starting as the Bengals quarterback in Cleveland. One thing that he said that I found interesting is he feels like he is throwing the ball as well as he has at any point of his career. He says he's spinning it as well as he's ever has. Feels like he can throw the ball to the spot where he needs to get the ball, and that he's in a good place in terms of his mechanics and where he feels physically in terms of the actual art of passing the football. So that is good news for Bengals fans. But again, the next couple of days are going to be very important, not only to see how the calf responds. It's been responding very well to this point, according to Burrow. He's had some good days and bad days in the first couple of weeks after the July 27th injury, but lately he's felt very good. Now he needs to test the calf and make sure that when he's called upon to sprint around in the pocket, move around, the calf responds without any trouble. Also here on Wednesday afternoon, Chido Awuzie was back on the practice field. He, of course, will be playing Sunday in Cleveland against the Browns. Joseph Osai was the only Bengal player not practicing here on Wednesday afternoon. Of course, he is out with a sprained right ankle, but Zach Taylor again said here on Wednesday he is day to day. He also officially called Joe Burrow day to day. But obviously with Joe Burrow on the practice field and participating fully in practice as he was on Wednesday, that is a pretty good indicator that barring any setbacks again, he'll be ready to go. Also on the injury report, wide receiver Tyler Boyd, he has come up with a bit of a toe problem. That toe injury cropped up on the injury report, the first one of the week released by the Bengals, but he was a full participant, so that is good news in and of itself. The Bengals are going to have to find a way here on the upcoming opener on Sunday afternoon to deal with the pass rush of the Cleveland Browns. And Orlando Brown Jr. had some interesting comments in the locker room when I asked him about what makes Myles Garrett unique. He said he's an alien. He's unlike anyone he's faced in the National Football League in terms of his ability to apply different pressures and different pass rushes. So he has to be prepared but stay true to his mechanics, have a good even base, and make sure that he doesn't get off balance, because if you get off balance against a guy like Myles Garrett, you're doomed. But again, Orlando Brown Jr., there's a reason the Bengals signed him to a 4-year deal. And that is because they expect him to be one of the best left tackles in the game to handle guys like Myles Garrett when the two meet on Sunday afternoon in the 2023 season opener. A lot of optimism in that Bengal locker room. The vibe is a very positive one, a very energetic one, but the Bengals know full well going into Cleveland, they haven't won there on the shores of Lake Erie since 2017, and the Bengals certainly would like to change that starting on Sunday and start the season 1-0 against a division rival. We'll have you completely covered on clnsmedia.com. Be sure to follow all of my Bengals coverage there. Also, be sure to follow my latest episode of the Jungle Roar podcast. That is with Bengals.com reporter Jeff Hobson. You can click on it there. You can also follow me on my YouTube page. Please do that. Click and subscribe if you will. Leave all comments, good, bad, and indifferent, at youtube.com/@JungleRoarPod. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter @Trags, TRAGS. Outside Paycor Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.